Good afternoon, viewers. Welcome back to Easy Mathematics. The last time we met, we looked at the solution for the number 1b, and we were able to come across a mistake getting close to the final answer. We were supposed to write addition, but we did it subtraction. So we've done the correction at the description page. Let us kindly visit the description page whenever we try to know the solution for that. We apologize for that, but God being so grateful, we were able to identify the mistake for the number 1b, which was explained earlier. Now we want to look at the question 3 and 4. So we have to express 8 times 32 times 4 times 2 in the form 2 raised to the power m. Now for you to express the given values, everything here in that form, then we are going to write each of the numbers in the form of what? Of an index. We are going to write each of the numbers in the form of an index. So writing the 8 in the form of index is going to give you 2 raised to the power 3, meaning 2 times 2 times 2 is the 8. Also, writing the 32 as a power will give you 2 raised to the power 5. Meaning 2 times itself 5 times is going to result as what? 32. Then we have times 2 raised to the power 2 times 2 raised to the power 1. So once we are able to write this as an index, then we apply the law of indices, which is the first law. So the first law is saying that whenever you are multiplying and the bases are the same, you add the powers. So we can add all the powers and say 3 plus 5 plus 2 plus 1, and this is giving us 8, 10, 1. So we have 2 raised to the power 11. So we've been able to express this in the form 2 raised to the power m. So now that you've expressed it in the form 2 raised to the power m, the II is saying that you are to, using your answer in AII, state the value of m. So per what you have been given, we've expressed this in the form 2 raised to the power m as 2 raised to the power 11. So now that we've been able to express it as that, then what is m? M is equal to what? 11. So we can say therefore m is equal to 11 for the question 1II. So that is what was expected from us or from candidates. Then you go to B. The B says factorize the expression. Now look at the expression carefully. You have pi n squared k minus 1 over 4 pi n squared q, and you have to factorize this expression. Now factorization simply means bring out the common terms. So we are going to look at this term and this term, then we factor out the common ones. First of all, we can see there is pi, there is pi, there is n squared, there is n squared. So we are going to factor the pi n squared out. So we say pi n squared. Once you factor out, you introduce a bracket. So now if I factored pi n squared out, I'm left with k minus, I have been able to factor pi n squared out. What am I left with? I'm left with 1 over 4q. So this is what I'm now left with after what? After the factorization. The question just said factorize. That is the number 3bi. So now that we have factorized, what do we do next? The II is saying that using your answer in bi to find the value of the expression, use your answer in bi to find the value of the expression when pi is 22 over 7, n is 2, k is 19, and q is equal to 20. So after factorizing, we had the expression to be pi n squared bracket of k minus 1 over 4 q. And you have been given a condition by saying that they said the pi is equal to 22 over 7, and you have n is equal to 2, you have k is equal to 19, and you have q is equal to 20. So now that we have been able to factorize, we are going to substitute each of the variables with the given values. So now let's quickly rewrite the expression that we have been able to factorize. Let's quickly rewrite it down. So the expression that we factorize happens to be pi n squared bracket of k minus 1 over 4 q. Then per what you have been given, pi is 22 over 7. So we substitute. So this is going to be 22 over 7. Then you have times n squared. So the n is 2. So that is going to give you 2 squared. Then you have bracket of k. The k is 19. So 19 minus 1 over 4 times q. And the q is 20. So times 20. So now what do? We are going to solve for the one in the bracket first. So we can say 22 over 7 times 2 squared is 4. Bracket of 19 minus, we can cancel and say 4 here 1, 4 here 5. 5 times this is giving you 5. So we have 22 over 7 times 4 times, if you subtract 5 from 19, we are getting 14. So now we are multiplying everything through. Now 7 can cancel 14, so we can say 7 here 1, 7 here 2. Now you have 22 times 4 times 2. You can say 22 times this and this is 8, because 4 2 is 8. Then we just multiply 22 times 8. 8 2 is 16, remember 1, 8 2 is 16, plus 1, 17. So the value there is 176. Solving for the expression for the question 3 BII. So first of all, we were asked to factorize. So we just factorize the expression. Now after factorizing the expression, we were asked to substitute to solve for the value. So wherever we see pi, we are going to write 22 over 7. Wherever we see n, we are going to write 2. Wherever we see k, we are going to write 19, and q is 20. So after substituting, we will notice that 2 squared is 4. Now, since you are multiplying half by q, q is 20. So 1 quarter by q. Since 4 can divide, we just cancel out. We multiply giving 5. We subtract first because it is in a bracket. Then we therefore multiply. Now, if you subtract 5 from 19, you are getting 14. So if 7 can cancel 14, then we just say 7 here 1, 7 to 14, 2. Then we just multiply this. So we have 22 times 4 times 2. 4 times 2 is 8. So 22 times 8 will give you 116. And that is what was expected from the candidate when the question BII, the number 3, was given. Now let's look at the C. The C is a simple question but very, very trickish. Now I read. It says, Gifty and Justina shared an amount of 418 Ghana cedis. If Gifty had 20% more than Justina, how much did Justina receive? Now, since here they mentioned a percentage of 20%, then we have to be very careful on how to calculate for any of the share or the amount they received. So first of all, per the question, the total amount they shared in the question is equal to or is given as 418 cedis. Now this money that they shared in terms of percentage, the money they shared in terms of percentage is 100%. So we are going to say total percentage total percentage is what? 100%. So if total percentage is 100, now we are going to assume that the money shared is 100%. But when you come to the question, it says that if Gifty had 20% more than Justina, so that means we should know the amount Justina received in terms of percentage and the amount Gifty received in terms of percentage. In terms of percentage, we don't know what Justina received. But the question is saying that Gifty received 20% more. So if Justina received, let's say, a variable, let's say B, then Gifty is going to receive B plus 20%. In terms of percentage, we are dealing in terms of percentage because the question said Gifty had 20% more than Justina. So if the total amount shared in percentage is 100%, then we can say that Justina's shares to be what? Should be B%. We don't know the percentage. But Gifty received what? 20% more than Justina. Good. So in terms of percentage, adding Justina's share and Gifty's share will give us the total percent. So we can say B% plus B plus 20% is equal to 100%. So now, adding this will give you 2B plus 20 is equal to 100. Now we are going to group like terms and say 2B is equal to 100 minus 20. Then 2B is equal to 80. We want B. So since we want B, then we are going to divide both sides by by 2. So we are going to say divide by 2, divide by 2. So this will cancel out. You have B to be equal to 40%. So in terms of percentage, remember that Justina had B%. So if B is 40%, then in terms of percentage, we can say Justina received 40% in terms of percentage. So if Justina received 40%, then what is Gifty receiving? Gifty is receiving 40% plus 20%. So therefore, Gifty received 60% of the money shared. Now let's come back to the question. The total amount shared from the question is 414. And I want how much did Justina receive? I want Justina's share. But the money shared, which is 418 Ghana cedis, is equivalent to 100%. So we can say that 100% is equivalent to the money shared, which is 418. Then Justina's percentage, which is 40%, is equivalent to, we don't know. So let's see why. From here, we cross multiply. So this will multiply this, giving you 100% y, which is equal to 418 times 40%. From here, I'll choose not to multiply because I'm going to divide by 100. So dividing both sides by 100 will give you y is equal to 418 cedis times 40%, all divided by 100%. So the percentage will cancel the percentage. 0 will cancel the 0. Now you are having 418 cedis times 4 all over 10. So what do? We can say that 2 year 2, 2 year 5. Now we are having y is equal to 418 cedis times 2 all over what? 5. So we can say multiply these two. So we are going to say 418 times 2. 8 to 16, remember 1. 2, 1 is 2, plus this is 3. 4, 2 is 8. So we are getting y is equal to this times this, we just multiply. 8 to 16, so 6 remainder 1. 2, 1, 2 plus 1, 3, 4, 2, 8. So we are getting 836 divided by 5. We want y. So now let's divide with a long division. So 836. Since we don't use calculator, we have to always show working, or we have to always get how to know the answer. So now let's cover, or probably let's try to cover these two. So we can say 515. If you subtract, we have 3. Then we drop the 36 down. We cover, we have 33. Now 6, 5 is 30. So we are going to say 6, 5, 30. You subtract, you have 3. You bring your 6. Again, we can say 6, 5, 7 is 35. So you subtract, what do we have? We have 1, we have 0. We bring a point, 0. Then 5, 2 is 10. So after dividing with a long division, y is equal to what? The quotient is 167.2. So now, per what we said here, that the 40% is equal to y. And this 40% is what Justina had. So we can state or quote our answer and say, therefore, Justina received 167 cedis, 20 pesos. So this is the amount Justina received. So this type of question is very simple, but we have to always know that since percentage has been mentioned, then to be safe, let's use the total percentage, and that will help us very, very well. And so this is how the question 3C was to be calculated. You can also use different method though, but with this method looks like it's very, very simple. Now let's move on to the question 4. The question 4 says A. You have to what? It says that if 4m minus 2 bracket of 3 plus 2m plus m bracket of 2m plus 4 is equal to 0, then find the value of m. Now this is also a question that is very simple. You want the value of m. So if you want the value of m, what do you do first? Since there is a bracket, we have to expand. So we are going to say 4m, this will multiply, giving you negative 6. Then the negative 2 multiply positive 2, which will give you negative 4m. Then you multiply plus 2m squared. Then this will multiply plus 4m, which is equal to 0. From here, what do? We group like terms. Now, grouping of like terms simply means that all those with the same variable should be at one side. So grouping like terms, we can bring the m squared first and say 2m squared plus 4m minus 4m plus 4m, then minus 6 is equal to 0. Now you have positive 4m minus 4m, which is the same as you asking what is 4 minus 4 is 0. So we say these ones will cancel out. Now you are left with 2m squared plus 4m minus 6 is equal to 0. Now, anytime you work and you get this becomes quadratic equation because of the square we are having here. But we have to see if we can make the coefficient of m squared to be 1 by dividing all terms by what? The coefficient of m. So we are going to say 2m squared plus 4m minus 6 is equal to 0. So divide by 2, divide by 2, divide by 2, divide by 2. So this will cancel out. We are left with m squared. 2 here 1, 2 here 2, plus 2m minus 2 here 1, 2 here 3. So minus 3 is equal to Still 0, because 0 divided by a number is giving you the same number. So now, yes, it's giving you 0, sorry. It's giving you 0. So you are having this as the what? As the final answer. Now, you want the value of m, and this is a quadratic equation. To solve quadratic equation, we have to find the product of a and c. Now, this quadratic equation is giving us ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So first find a times c, which is the ac. The a is the coefficient of x squared and the c is the constant. So the coefficient of m here is 1 and the constant here is -3. So we have to find 1 times -3, which is what? -3. Now that we have the AC as -3, we have to find the positive and negative factors of 3. Positive and negative factors of 3 are -1, -3, and 1, 3. These are the factors of 3. Now that we have the factors of 3, let's fish out the pair of numbers. When we add, we are to get +2. But when we multiply, we are to get the AC, which is -3. Now, if I pick -1 and 3 to multiply, I'm getting positive. And if I add, I'm getting -4. So I can't pick those numbers. But I can pick -3 and +3. Why? Because if I multiply these two, I am getting -3. And if I add these two, I am getting +2. And this +2 is the coefficient of what? Of m. So this 2m, I'm going to split it into -1 and +3. So I'm going to say m squared plus 3m minus m minus 3 is equal to 0. This 2m is what I've splitted to get this. So now what do we do here? We are going to factorize so that we can solve for m. To factorize simply means to bring out common terms in it. So now since I'm coming to factorize, I'm having 4 terms. So I'm going to group them into 2, like this and that. What is the common term here? The common term is m. But the m are 2 here and the m here is 1. So if I bring one m here, I'll introduce a bracket and I have another m. The sign here is positive, so plus 3. Now the m is out, so I'm left with 3. Then I'll say minus. The common terms here happens to be 1. Because 1 times m will give you m. And 1 times this will give you that. But since the sign here is -1, I have to write positive. So that when I multiply negative times positive, I will get my negative. So I have 3, which is equal to 0. Factorization says that if the brackets are the same, then pick the coefficient of the brackets. So we are going to say the coefficients are m minus 1 and m plus 3, which is equal to 0. We want the value of m. So we pick this bracket equate to 0. Pick this bracket equate to 0. Then you solve for m. So m for this bracket minus 1 is equal to 0. M is equal to 0 minus 1. So we say m is equal to -1. Then we also do for same. For 3 is equal to 0. So m is equal to 0 minus 3. Sorry, when this sign crosses, it's going to be positive. So we have +1. Sorry for that. This one crosses is going to be negative. So m is equal to what? 3. So what were we asked? We were asked to find the values of m. So we say therefore m is equal to 1 or -3. M is equal to 1 or -3. Good. We apologize for making the videos like this because of the tripod stand we talked about. We are trying to get the tripod stand so that we can do presentation on the board. So this was what was demanded from us or needed for the question 4A. Now let's look at the last one, the question 4B. Now with the question 4B, I read, it says that At a political rally, there were 240 women, 200 men, 160 boys, and 120 girls. I draw a pie chart to illustrate the information. Then what percentage of the people at the rally were females? So this is a pie chart that we have to what? Draw. But per the question, or based on what the question is asking, we have been told that the women there, or the women at the rally, happens to be 240. And also the men happens to be 200. Good. So from the question, the men happens to be 200. Then we have the boys to be 160. Then we have the girls as 120. The II says you should what? Draw a pie chart. Now to draw a pie chart, we need the angle sector for each of the people that attended the rally. So before we can even do the pie chart, we need the total. So we have to calculate for the total by adding 240 plus 200 plus 160 plus 120. So we are going to add this and say 240, 200, you are getting 440. Then 160 is giving you 0, 0, remember 1, 4, 5, 6. Then 120, giving you 720 people. So we have a total of what? 720 people at the rally. So if I want the angle sector, so we can say angle sector for women. The angle sector for women is going to give you the number of women over the total people times 360 degrees, because we want the angle sector. So the number of women over the total people times 360 degrees. Then we cancel out. So this 0 will cancel out this 0. 36 into itself 1, 36 here 2. 2 here 1, 2 here 120. So the angle sector for women is 120 degrees. Then we go to men. With the same idea, the number of men over the total people times 360 degrees. So we have 0 cancelling 0, 36 here 1, 36 here 2, 2 here 1, 2 here 100. So this is giving you 100 degrees. Sorry, 100 degrees. So the trend continues like that. So we have boys. The number of boys over the total people times 360 degrees. 0 cancel 0, 36 here 1, 36 here 2, 2 here 1, 2 here 80. So that gives you 80 degrees. Then we go for girls. The girls is number of girls 120 over the total people 240, 720 times the total angle of a circle. So 0 will cancel 0, 36 here 1, 36 here 2, 2 here 1, 2 here 60. This is giving you 60 degrees. So now that you have the angle sectors for each of the people that attended the rally, then you draw the pie chart. Unfortunately, we cannot draw the pie chart to show because we are using one hand for the camera and also one hand for the solution. But you can see clearly that with the pie chart, you need the protractor, which will help you. Now, anytime you finish your calculation, it is very good or best for you to add the angle sectors. If you add the angle sectors and you get 30 degrees, 360 degrees, then it means you are correct. But if it is less or more, then you have to check your calculations. Now adding everything here gives you a total of 360 degrees, which means we are correct, because this and this is 220 plus this is 300 plus this is 60 degrees. So you just draw your pie chart for that. Then we have the last one. The last one is saying what percentage of the people at the rally were female. What percentage were female? First of all, these are the people that attended the rally. Which of them are female? Women and girls. So we have to find total female. So total females, which is adding the women to the girls. So that is 240 plus 120. And that gives you a total of 360. A total of 240 plus this, you have 063. So a total of what? 360. You want percentage. So we are going to take the total females over the total people at the rally times 100%. So we are going to say 0 will cancel 0. 36 here 1, 36 here 2. So we can have or say that 2 into itself 1, 2 into 100, 50%. So the percentage of the people that attended the rally happens to be 50%. And this was what was expected from the candidate who just wrote the BECE 2023. And that is the solution. We deeply apologize for how speeding we are due to our time factor and the resource we are using. We will meet again next time and we'll look at the question 5 alone on its own and the question 6 alone on its own. Thank you very much for staying tuned. God bless you. Please subscribe and support Easy Mathematics for us to get the stand in order to